We're live on YouTube. And it looks like we might be live on Facebook, but we'll find out. And I'm going to take this link and copy it and put it over here. And yeah, put it right there. I think we're live. Are we live? Hey, everybody. It said I was live. Go live. We're going to try that again. Because allegedly I'm only live on YouTube and not Facebook, which is why we check. And then we refresh. And there is my face. There's my face. And then I got to turn off the closed captions because I don't need your captions. Whoop, whoop. Yes, Ray, that's right. I'm here. But I might need to turn down the volume. And I'm also going to post a link to the, wait for it. Wait, what's going on? Why am I, what? Comment on this thing! Okay, there we go. So somebody's here. Is it Ray who's here? Is it Bree who's here? Ray, when was the last time we were live? How long has it been? Oh yeah, and I posted the link to the YouTube channel because allegedly YouTube's way better for my show than Facebook is. Let me get comfy. Ugh. Sorry, I'm a little late. The missus of the house started some laundry, and so there was like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da going on above my office, and it was hard to think about Donald Trump getting indicted. Which I've literally, like, if I may, so Big Daddy got indicted, and I have thought about it for 60 seconds, maybe 90. And it's not that I don't care, Ray. It's that I don't care. Hey, it's Emily. That's who's in the house. Emily's in the house. There's 3 people in the house. Is it Emily and Ray and Bree? Is that who's here? Where are we? Are we on YouTube? Are we on Facebook? Where are we at? Where we at in the chat? Can I get a big money in the chat? Dollar bill signs, y'all. Incidentally, I'm going to start doing a Guido voice for every time I tell a joke because it's the Power Trio sick. Because, like, would we be the Power Quadro, though? The Power Quattro? Because there's 4 of us. Like, I'm here, too. Like you bitches are the Trinity, but I'm the light in the way. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I want to just say Ray's probably got the most biblical education here. Oh my God, look at you with your dollars. That looks like bags of money. That ain't dollars. Oh, just the radies. Gotcha. Is that? Oh yeah, it looks like bags of money. Facebook's got to change it because they're like, ooh, we're not iOS. Blech. We're like the backup singers. Dude, you ladies are the main attraction. I don't care. Where was I going with this? My Nespresso tab finally broke. So this came from Amy Pellegrini. We all know and love Amy. This little thingy finally broke. Now, it's so awesome that even though it broke, it still kind of works. But like after 3 years, it finally broke. This is my favorite coffee. It's an espresso carafing. I'm going to see if I can get him to send me a new one. Like, if you get a flag from Ace Hardware and you're like, I need a new flag. Blessed be Amy. Yeah, Amy's, I think she's in New York right now. Visiting her husband's family and going to, like, the New York Zoo and stuff. They can go to New York. We can't go to New York, but they can go to New York. Because Big Daddy Brian's family's from there. Like, they're all, like, he's first generation left to New York, I guess you could say, but always went back all the time. And so, like, he knows everywhere to go and how to speak New York and act New York. He's also gigantic. Anyways, what you ladies want to talk about? What are we going to talk about? I know Bree wanted to talk about the Constitution. I wanted to say, hey, Ray, we love you and miss you. Hey, Bree. And, yeah, let's get the show going. I have kind of shows, but not really. I just basically made some notes. I got a little bit of a headache. Turn on this. Man, did that really affect the light that much? Man, I guess I do have to blind myself. So let's talk about me for a while. Oh yeah, but I gotta do the voice if I'm making jokes about something. So instead of saying something like, well, maybe it's the Jews. I now have to say, well, maybe it's the Jews. And then people know I'm joking. But if I don't do that, then they're going to be like, you're a fascist. As opposed to... because that's how dumb we all are. Anyways, where is it going with that? Where is it going with that? Where is it going with that? Ray Bree Emily. Blessed be Amy. Coffee thing got hit. What do I have to tell you? I'm going to have a kid in a month. So we'll see how all that goes. I'm a little bit tired. The last kid made me tired. Okay, that's... Okay, Bree, what the hell? Bree, what the hell? What the hell? I'm going to do a show and you're just like, I'm going to talk about not your show. With like the most blah in the world. But you can talk about that crap. If you want to talk about that crap, I'm great. Dude, we should talk about child rearing. How's that sound for all the parents in the chat? How about how to raise your kids? I take my kid to school. I take my kid to the school with all the broads. But there's this new guy there, and I think he might be bad. He looked a little handsy with the kids. I'm going to go talk to the director about it. On Monday, because I got shit to do with you ladies. Which is my show. I got to do my show. Actually, it doesn't matter. Because it was just like, he's new and I don't like that. But I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. Maybe he's not a creeper. But, you know, if you're working in, if it's a daycare and there's a guy there, he's probably a pedo. Let's just say that should be our starting point. Like, can we go back to saying that men and women are different and maybe like, you know, I'm awesome at child rearing and I could see dads being awesome at child rearing, but dudes that ain't my family who want to hang out with my kid are fucking weird. As a context. It's a starting point. So, yeah, we're going to take care of that. I can talk about militant dadisms. It's actually militant daddyisms. Excuse my language. So, I take my kid to school, and I go into the school, and it's often, like, she got moved to a new classroom, and the classroom is just a complete shit show. Like, it's basically like, oh, we're going to try this whole new classroom, and this whole new school, and this whole new system, and it's this whole new teacher who's going to be taking care of it. And then there's all of her supporting staff who's going to be taking care of it. And within, like, a month, all three were gone. First, it was, like, the one lady with the Black Lives Matter shirt. She was gone real fast. Which I don't think was related to that, but I'm like, you know, I'm not sure you need to be wearing Black Lives Matter crap around a bunch of 2-year-olds. And then there was a they, them, so she had, like, her, like, they, them, which I think is just the height of narcissism, if we're being honest. Like, if you need to put your freaking pronouns on your, like, shirt or, like, on your person while you're taking care of kids, it's about fucking you, not the kids, and it's about the fucking kids. So... whatever. Don't worry, we'll get into all that crap in a bit. Because actually, man, I feel for the trans people. They're going to get it. And here's the thing. And actually, this goes back to, like, you know, we'll say 8 years ago. I never really had a problems with the trans people. There's that one trans guy who used to hang out with us, Emily. And I'm not talking about Amanda before she became a man. Duh. But it was like that one weird kid who always wore like tutus, and he like I want to say he was really skinny and had like pot acne kind of scars and like bright blue eyes and looked kind of like he was on meth all the time. Do you know what I'm talking about? He was in the cosplay community. Like, anyways, so like I met that guy, and then I saw the trans stuff becoming an issue, and I was just like, this is just a social battering ram. I don't think any of this is to help trans people. They're just the latest thing to promote communism or whatever it is. This is just a new thing to have a cultural revolution. How's that sound? And like basically they're just using trans people as the battering ram. And like once their like heads like crush under the like weight of the bat, don't worry, we still got more of the log. And so they'll just come up like, you know, they already beat the door down with the blacks, and now it's like they're beating the door down with the trans, and then they'll beat the board down, like the door down with the AI or whatever the hell it is. Yes, that's not good. And yes, you do remember them. They were a trip. Yeah, this guy was crazy. Crazy. I would say that's an example of somebody who's mentally unstable. Because I have met trans people where I'm like, this person really is just a normal, healthy human being in the wrong body. That's interesting. But most of them I met are mental patients because freaking most people are just crazy in our society. I'm not going to say most people are crazy in our society, but there's a lot of crazy going on. Where was I going with any of this, Emily? Bree, you're supposed to be my producer. Shit. Maybe I'll just go back to the show. Trump got indicted, allegedly. I didn't even watch it. No, I think we should go. Oh, yeah, no, the kids. So I take my kid in the classroom. And I go in, and I was like, hey, teacher, can I have a sidebar real quick? And she's like, uh-huh. And I was like, there used to be a point where, parents would come in and help out, or can I volunteer or something? Or can I help you clean or something? Because I come in here and it's a total shit show. And this actually goes into a point that Bree was making earlier, which is one of the worst things for kids, especially little kids, is being around somebody who's sending out an angry vibe. We'll put it that way. So their frequency is I'm going to murder all of you. And so that's their thing, and they're snappy and sarcastic and mean and nasty and blah, blah, blah. That's real bad energy for kids. That's not a healthy environment for children. It's not a healthy environment for my daughter. So I was like, hey, maybe I could help you guys out. And I also don't want to keep her away from that too much. Here's the thing. I don't want to raise my kid in a total freaking bubble. Okay? I want this kid to have some adversity. I want to we got to worry about the AI robots coming for us. So maybe we should, make them a little bit tougher. Teach them how to... Never mind. We can't talk about that because it's a Fed post. But we got to make these kids tough. So anyways, so I'm like, hey, maybe you're being too tough on the kids. That's not what I said. I was like, so can I help out? And one of the girls was like, oh my God, thank you. I remember when I was a kid and the parents would be in here and now we're just like this. COVID was the thing that happened. And I was like, yeah, so can I help out sometime? You guys, you're drowned. Because the day before, I went in there and my kid was like, I'm pooping. And I'm like, well, I got some free time. And then the kids were like, ah, it's just the Lord of the Flies in there. And the teachers are like, I'm pulling my hair out. And I was like, I'm going to help clean. I don't know how to deal with these kids and teach them how to do whatever kid crap they teach them. But I can teach them how to pick stuff up. I'm like, hey kid, you want to help me put this crap in there? And he's like, blah, 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 I got a truck. Awesome. The truck goes in the bin, kid. High five. Boom. And then it's like, oh, well, this kid definitely is lacking a strong masculine figure in their life. Come on, let me show you how it's done, boy. Here. And then the kid followed me around while I Harry, well, he's like, who's daddy? I'm Cordy's dad. Oh, can you help me get the block? And then more of the kids are like, oh, look what I got. I was like, great, it goes in that box. Hey, great, that goes in that box. Hey, great, that goes in that blah, blah. Which is easy for me to say because I was fresh, okay? I wasn't there with kids for 9 hours. But, walking in fresh with being a dad, hey, I got this. And so anyways, my kid, and then it's like, hey, your kid just pooped on herself. Hey, Bree, hey, your kid just pooped on herself. So it's going to be a little bit longer. I was like, oh, okay, great. And so I sat there for 15, 20 minutes. Literally, it took a while for her because she sat on the toilet for 10. And so I just helped the teachers, I helped the kids clean up and I helped the teachers clean up and they were like, oh my God, thanks. And so then the next day I walked in and was like, hey, can I help you out with blah, blah, blah? And she's like, I'll suggest it to Lori. I'm like, okay, great. And so then I go out front and I talk to the head admin lady. She's cool. And I'm like, hey, lady who does everything. Can I talk to you about something? There used to be a time we go help out with the kids and blah, 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 blah. Can we get that? Can we get that? Or can I volunteer? These girls know this is a shit show in there. Because literally they've gone through 3 head teachers in a month. It's a shit show. My kid fell into it and I'm like, whatever. Because I don't worry about the they them pins and I don't worry about the Black Lives Matter. I really don't worry that much about it. There's a cultural indoctrination that's happening there. But man, this stuff's going to collapse way before she remembers anything. I don't think Black Lives Matter is going to be around when she's 8. And whoa, hey there, coffee. And I don't know if the trans stuff's going to be a big issue when she's 8. We're talking 5 years. It's so man, the backlash has started. It's so Bree, it's so worse than I told. remember when we were arguing about Pride last year, and I was like, there's going to be a backlash against all this stuff, and you need to just, like, you've already won, and maybe you should just stop. The backlash is so infinitely worse than I thought it would be. It's so bad. And don't worry, we'll cover it. But it's so much worse than I thought. So there's things I'm not concerned about with my kid. Like, I'm just like, oh, the cultural indoctrinated, the blah. And I was like, well, if they get an activist teacher, I'm just pulling them out of school. They can miss a year. I don't give a shit. I don't care if my kids graduate when they're 20. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It matters a little bit, but not really. There's like the neuroactivity of their brains and how quickly they can be. Like, my kid could be 20 and go to Harvard and still do better than, like, I don't know, some Asian kid at 16. What about Facebook? And if Facebook sucks, Bree, go over to YouTube. I'll put the link in again. I'll do that right now. So we copy the link, and then we go here, and then we do that, and right-click, and paste, and fire. Like a missile in the Ukrainian-Russia war. Except this one might hit its target. Man, are we dumb. Man, are the dumbest people in the universe running everything, or what? I'm not talking about you, God, and the universe, and our digital reality. I'm talking about the people here. Anyways, whatever. So, like, I go in there, and she's like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. I'm like, oh, okay, great, awesome. And I'm like, cool, thanks. And then I go back the next day, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, oh, my God, thank you so much for saying something. Like, it really helped. Like, I was like, do you need anything? I'm like, no, we're good, blah, blah, blah. But thank you. Like, a parent saying something gets the ball moving. I'm like, man, just wait. Just wait until I'm on the school board. Which I'm going to go for school board. I'm totally going to go for school board. Because I'm not going to let these little lesbian commies ruin, like, a whole generation of kids. Jesus. They're retards. Which I'm bringing retard back. I'm bringing back, like, you know, a fake Jersey accent. That was a real bad one, by the way. But, oh yeah, and then calling shit gay again. In honor of Pride Month. Maybe we should talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Trump indictment first because it's the thing I know absolutely nothing about. And, where's with the kids? So I'm leaving with the kid, and then she's like, talk about Debbie's Day. And I'm like, oh, well, I dropped you off at school, and then I went and I walked the dogs, and then like one of the girls who like clean, oh, the Bronx Zoo is the shit. I believe that. And so then I'm walking with the kids, and I'm walking with the kid, and she's like, talk about Debbie's Day, blah, blah. I was like, what was your day? I did da. And then the cleaning lady who was helping me pick up the room the day before was like, oh my God, this is the best part of my day. And I'm like, what's the best part of your day? You talking to your daughter about your days? And I was like, well, yeah, no, absolutely. It's important for the kid to feel that they can open up. And so what we do is we just created a thing where we all talk about our days. Like, mommy talks about her day, daddy talks about her day, Corey talks about her day. And it used to be we would just ask the kid about her day and then go talk about what we do. But now we've turned it into a thing where we all share. Like, what we do is we sit down at the dinner table, and then we all share what our day was like. Earth-shattering, I know. And so doing those sorts of things creates healthy families, help create a healthy society, and then maybe everything will get fixed. But we got to help the kids, because the kids ain't all right. But the kids are also all right. I went to a graduation over the weekend, and it seems to me that there's two big factions going, but there's always been two factions. Like right now, it's like the jocks and the trans, or the queer. I'm just going to say jocks and queers. But it used to be like, you know, squares and sharps way back in the day. So I think there's always been a sort of like schism. There's always going to be like some sort of like in society going into things. And I got to be honest, like the sharps in the 50s were pretty bad. Like they would murder people for going to a different high school. Like there was a lot of bad crap that used to happen. So whatever. Anyways, where was I going with this? Which I imagine, well, now we beat each other to death for the color skin, but I think we've been doing that since always, am I right, Brie? So Trump indictment. So let's go to Trump indictment. We're going to go to picture in picture, and we're going to click this, and then we're going to go here. Because I do have, it's me saying, if AI gets out and runs amok, you turn off the lights. That's how you stop the machines, everybody. You turn off the lights. You don't black out the sun like in that stupid movie. So we're going to say Trump indictment, Trump indictment, There's Tulsi Gabbard saying it's a threat to democracy. There's that Marine who got, like, he's on trial for manslaughter because he's white. Bree says, we got to find those pedos. We got to find... Here, I want to make a distinction real quick about the pedos, if I may, Bree. Because here's the thing. We got to get the chomos. Like, those are the people we need to get. Pedos, hey, look, there's something with their brain where they're like, take a look at that. You know, which is like, I'm not going to say that's good, but there's something going on in their brain. If their actions are completely out of line, then you got to get them. They get got. They get so got. Keep the kids out of church. Don't block me. So that is an interesting... So Jesus Camp is where kids get... Well, so Bree, since you're going to start mouthing off like a bitch, we're bringing it back. We're bringing back domestic violence. I'm kidding. She's my cousin. It doesn't count. Shit. I hope your mom watches this one. Anyways, but like, keep the kids out of church. So let's go back to so church camp, Jesus camp. Okay, yeah, that's where all the kids are getting touched. How about with the gays who become priests, so they're not gay anymore? Like, I'm actually going to say that there's a real big problem with, I would actually say, like, I'm going to call it toxic masculinity, and that it's not okay to be gay. And so using religion as a way of beating the gays into being straight, but they don't get straight, so they bang a bunch of kids, is a problem. However, if you look at this shit that's going on right now, the blue church, there's a reason they call it a blue church. There's a reason they're calling it globo homo. There's a reason that there's a cultural revolution happening in the United States. It's communist and it's crazy. And I hate saying the communist thing because I find it so stupid because it's way more complicated than that. But it's because they don't have a religion. People have religion. Religions are systems of belief. They are I'm going to say an organized system of belief with other people who are part of a fucking cult. That's why you can talk to these kids and be like, hey, so how many blacks are killed, unarmed blacks are killed by the police every year? And they're like 13 million. And then you say, how about 10? And then their eyes gloss over. They go into cognitive dissonance. And then they're like, 13 million. So you can be like, no, it's 10. And they won't hear you and they'll just go, blah, and just start arguing and freaking out about some shit. It's because it's their religion. So I think kids need some sort of religion, but I don't even know. Trump is calling it Marxism. And they call it like cultural Marxism or race Marxism or that kind of shit. And it's fine. Like, it's acceptable to call that. The reason it's acceptable to call it that is because all these fucking kids coming out of college are Marxists. Like, Marxists took over our colleges. And it's crazy. But I digress. Because I don't care that much because they're idiots too. They're going to get got. Anyways, I'm going to go back to Trump getting got. Trump's indictment, not the slam dunk case portrayed by the media, and there's Gregor God, and there's like this guy saying something about it, and then there's this guy saying something about it. Look at his arms. Look at Tom Fitton's arm. This guy's ripped. Anyways, and then it's like this guy's, I'm a former attorney. Wait, who are you? Will Scharf? Scharf, is that a real name? There's enough people following him that he might be real. I am a former assistant U.S. attorney, worked on 2 Supreme Court confirmations, and clerked for 2 federal court judges. The indictment and case against President Trump is outrageous and shocking. But let's get to the details of the case. I would say that the details of the case is irrelevant. Here's why. What matters is the jury selection. That's it. That's my whole argument. Like, here's the thing. Here. I don't know if it's always been this way, where like what matters is the jury, not the law. But I think, but it's transparently become very clear that the jury is what matters because of ideological reasons. And so basically, it's like, You know, do they like Trump or do they hate Trump? They hate Trump, he's getting convicted. Do they like Trump? Not getting convicted. The end. What about the man? What about the case? And I don't believe anything any of these freaking people on TV tell me anyways, so I don't care. And like, oh my God, did he really take those documents? I don't care. George Bush killed 1 million Iraqis. What the hell do I care? Oh, Obama, he blew up a whole bunch of people and just ruined the United States. Oh, Trump, he took some boxes of classified information. I don't give a shit. Do you realize that the Chinese hacked the Pentagon like 15 years ago and stole like a terabyte of information from there? So what the hell did Trump have that the Chinese don't have? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And they impeached the guy twice for no reason. This is clearly a political prosecution. This is clearly a political prosecution under the guise of making sure that Donald Trump can't become fucking president again. The end. That's all this is. And so all the people who love Trump are going to say, oh my God. And all the people who love Trump are going to be like, hee. And that's it. That's what's happening. So if you want to, like, you're just like, so what do you think what's happening? Well, if you're with a group of blah, you go, and if you're a group with you go, hee. And that's all you have to fucking say, Emily. Okay, that's how you navigate this thing. So let's move on. I want to talk about something that I found to be pretty interesting. Our good friend Adam Scrabble clued me into it. And this is like a grift of a campaign. So I want you to take a look at a couple of things. Like, let's do Gretchen Whitmer website. So there's missionary.com. So reelect. Election website. Re-election. So home, Gretchen Whitmer for governor, and I think this is it. So let's fix this real quickly. And if you don't remember Gretchen Whitman, she's the dictator of Michigan, and then they chose to re-elect her because they're all idiots. Now, so here's a nice picture of Gretchen. I'm like, wow, I might do it. Gretchen Whitmer's not that pretty, but that's why you have Photoshop. And then it's like, oh, look at, there's like the logo, and there's a couple of bridges. Oh my God, she's building bridges. Oh, there's two of her, two terms going bridges, Gretchen. Oh, there's green and white and flowing letter. That's real attractive. That looks good. And then chip in on our campaign. Give us money. Picture of me, money, campaign, chip into our campaign. They're using inclusive language. Let me see. Bree said, yes, he did. It was so embarrassing watching Republicans say, bathrooms locked from the inside. And every one of them just, I don't care about like some precedent about he took some crap home and Bill Clinton took some crap home, or it was in a bathroom with locked doors, or there was whatever the crap. I don't care. I just literally do not care, Bree. I don't care. The CIA assassinated a president. Why the fuck do I care about Trump's boxes of bullshit? Literally, why the fuck do I care? But I digress. Whitmer's website. So we close this little box right here. Boom. We close that little box. Oh my God, there's another box. Would you look at that? Oh my God, and the buttons light up when I scroll over. And Bree's like comment made me think. It's like our campaign. So they're using inclusive language. Governor Whitmer, picture of Whitmer, give us money, inclusive language. Chip in. Okay, great. Oh, let's there's my name. And then it's like, I'm a mom. Oh, look. What do I love? I love moms and puppies. And she signs her name to being a mom and a puppy. I'm a mom, former legislator, prosecutor, and governor. I will work with anyone to get things done for Michigan families, except keep them from buying seeds. I like the blacks, too. Oh, my God, it's so inclusive. I love how great the Democrats are. Oh, my God, look. And even though the money thing went on, donate. And it lights up. And it's like standing tall for Michigan. And there's a great picture of that guy. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist II. I'm going to guess he's probably a Democrat, too. And that's a great winning photo. Look at that. It's a great winning photo. Great winning photo. Great winning photo. Governor Whitmer's priorities. What does she care more about? I want to find that out. Money in pockets, I care about that. And the economy and the jobs, oh my God, and I care about that. And roads and bridges, wait a second. Her campaign is a bridge. which we'll be talking about bridges later. Oh my God, there's the mom and she's with kids and there she sees access to safe legal abortion. Man, people really care about that one right now, don't they? Thanks Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham guaranteeing that Republicans never win again because they don't want to win, because all the Republicans are is a party of used car salesmen. Don't worry, I'll show you what I mean. Oh my God, another call to action to donate more money. Man, she's not only a tireless fighter for Michigan, she's a tireless money-raising thing. Give me money, donate, give me money. Okay? A tireless fighter. Oh my God, I'm a tireless fighter for Michigan too. Here's my information. Okay, cool. How's that sound? Oh, and then here it is, like, donate and take action. Take action. Get involved, okay? Do you get that? Do you get the message of this website? Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at another presidential candidate, Ron DeSantis presidential website. RonDeSantis.com. Ron DeSantis for president. I bet this is going to be slick. I'm sorry, my coffee thing's making sounds. What? Stop. Quiet, coffee. What? So it's like, here's the normal feed. There's a feed, then join the team, volunteer, shop, donate. Hi, I'm Ron DeSantis. Blah 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 blah. Like this looks like a $2,000 WordPress site. Okay, I want you to pay attention to some of this stuff. Actually, let's go ahead and get Governor Whitmer's crap. I'm just gonna go. I know what. Wait, we're gonna get fancy here. We're gonna copy that URL. Then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna paste this URL. Paste. Boom, and then we go back. Then we go back. Okay, Governor Whitmer. Oh, look, it even had... Oh, my God. Did you see these, pictures just scroll in? Did you see that happen? Okay, now let's go back over here. Okay, where's the... There is no... She is the banner. This one has, boring, typical DeSantis for blah, 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 blah. Which is a better website? I guess that's the question I'm asking you, ladies. Which is a better website? Just on the eyes. So it's okay, donate, raise money, chip in, donate. And this is okay, volunteer, join the team, donate. Don't get me wrong, that's it. But there isn't a call to action, okay? It's not a big button. There's not a big light up button where you get to there's not the button. There's kind of it underlines a little bit, but I could do this cool. And it's hi, I'm Ron DeSantis. I'm running for president. Our country's going in the wrong direction. We're going to end weaponized federal government. And there's a video. Okay, cool. Oh, show the world you're a DeSantis Republican. Buy some of our merch. You know what I want right now? I want to buy a Ron DeSantis beer koozie. Donate money. Beer koozie. Freaking, I don't even think this is a YouTube video. I bet this is a Rumble video. Because it's lighting up green. Okay, the best for America is yet to come. There's more. Oh, wait. So it's wait, let's go. Just as a context. Hi, I'm Ron DeSantis. YouTube video, buy crap. YouTube video, buy crap. Oh, where the woke goes to die. Great. Grab our fastest selling item yet. Get your jacket. Buy our merch. YouTube video. Buy our hat. Buy our blue hat. Buy our blue hat that will look exactly like, wait for it, Joe Biden's hat. How is this any different than a Joe Biden hat? That shit ain't MAGA, that's for sure. And I'll get to your comment in a section, Bree. YouTube video. No, I don't even know what this is. Can I click on it? Guys, I can't even click. This isn't even anything to click on. Ron DeSantis shouted down a protester who interrupted his speech during a campaign stop in South Carolina Friday. Really? All I see is him going like this. Oh, and a Ron DeSantis mug? Crap, I could just sit back, watch a bunch of fucking YouTube videos, and buy a bunch of merch. This isn't a campaign, it's a grift. Because Republicans are grifters. Do you get it now? Do you get why I bitch about Tim Pool, and actually Tim Pool's getting his shit together. I'm not gonna lie, and so is the Daily Wire. Like, they're actually trying to figure stuff out. But my point is that Republicanism is basically like sit around, watch a video, and buy some shit. This is you're part of a movement. Get on board, bitches. The Democrats just have such a better message. Like, I'm not going to lie. I look at that picture of Whitmer. I look at the picture of this guy, and I want to join the campaign. I look at this shit. What? Like, I don't know what's happening here. And then where's the other picture? That might be a video. There's that versus that. Hey. Hey. Now, the reality is, I don't know how good this guy is. Ron DeSantis is a good governor as far as the ability to legislate and run crap. But man, is this website just pure dog shit. But let's keep going. YouTube video. Buy our shirt. YouTube video. Buy a bumper sticker. Buy our bumper sticker. YouTube video. Buy our other shirt. DeSantis breaks the system. YouTube video. Oh, that's not even again. It's just another post posted 24 hours a day. Further, and I got to get this one out. DeSantis has $150 million in the bank, Bree. They have $150 million in the bank, and this is what their website looks like. And this is supposed to be this guy running for president. He's not running for president. He's running to lose. Because Republicans make more money when they're not in power. And all of this is about helping, like, the people who sell the bumper stickers, the people who sell the bullshit, make money. This is just about, like, the campaign making money. This shit is about starting an organization that takes over the country. And it's not the same game. It's not the same field. They ain't even close. Don't even waste your time on this 2024 presidential election unless Donald Trump's in there, because at least it'll be entertaining. But if it's any of the other guys, it's just grift. They are all running to lose so they can make money. That's it. So let me see. So Bree can't click either. DeSantis logo looks like a limp D. I don't even know what it is. Like, it's like, that don't look like the American flag to me. That looks like 3 stars and some wavy line, but that doesn't look good. Like, these are Democrat colors. This is all blue. Like, all this shit's blue. And maybe he's trying to, I'm purple America. I don't buy it. Okay, I don't buy it at all. It's blue. All this crap's blue. What? Now, John McCain had blue hats with the McCain logo, so maybe I could do it up. Bree says, also, the Dems have Van Jones. Could you tell me more about that? Could you elaborate on that comment? I think Van Jones is a very smart guy. He's like the honest Democrat in the room, which they need that. I don't know who the honest Republican is. I think it's actually Thomas Massie. If Thomas Massie ever ran for president, I'd campaign for him. Because Jesus, that guy's smart. And YouTube and Facebook are syncing. That's awesome. That's awesome. Anyways, that's what I have for the grift. This week in grifting. This lady's going to be governor again. This guy ain't going to be president. Let's close those tabs. Trump indictment. We got that. Bam, bam. Trans backlash. Okay, we're going to come here real quick. Because this is one I need to get off YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, off of a friend's profile. Because I saw it and it shocked me. Ba-ba-da-ba. Let's go here. I think she put it in the comments. There we go here. And so I will take these over to here. So I need to talk about this friend a bit. So she was definitely an anti-Trumper. Very liberal. I mean, she's a... how do I describe Amy? She's smart. She's smarter than I am. She's got a higher IQ than I do. Probably. It's close. I'll put it that way. Let me rephrase that. She might be smarter than me. Her family was better than mine. So we'll put it that way. So it's tough to say exactly, how smart somebody is, because if your parents screw you up pretty bad, it screws you up pretty bad. Let me see. Bree loves John Kasich. I want him to flap his wings. Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing. Like, I don't. I need to be entertained, Bree. That's what it comes down to. Am I entertained? Nope. Don't care. That's it. And Donald Trump's the most entertaining guy, so he gets it. And if Donald Trump doesn't get it, the Republicans don't get it. Because there's too much of a war that's happening in the Republican Party right now. And the Democrats are going to cheat and steal the next election anyway. So whatever. What does it matter? I don't care. I literally don't care that much. Because here's the thing, I'm saving my energy, okay? I'm saving my energy. I'm focusing on building things out in my local community. Because number one, that's the one that matters the most. And number two, like, I'm not going to spend 1,000 hours paying attention to the next presidential campaign unless Trump is making me laugh. If he makes me laugh, I'll watch. But other than that, I don't care. But I'm going to go to the next section. I'm over it. So we're going to go back to the trans backlash. And we're going to go to... Bree said Trump will win. That's a good prediction. I'm going to say Biden wins. That's mine. I think what happens is I think it goes down to Biden-Trump, and Biden wins. If Donald Trump wins, good. I'm going to tell you something. I hope he wins. In the sense that I hope that... Actually, so Bree brought it up. Bree won't let it go. She just won't let me talk about the gays. Even though she'd be like, oh my God, I agree about what he's saying about the gays this time. But no, we got to talk about it. You're such a political junkie. Did you know that? But what are we doing here? Oh, that's what we're doing. Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan went viral because he does sometimes. Here we go, that. So we got to do this and turn up the volume, and then we go back to this. And I think he was talking to RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Well, I would vote for Trump before I'd vote for Biden, just because the thing with Biden, like, he's gone. Like, he's gone. You're going to be relying on his cabinet, and I knew his cabinet would be this fucking sideshow of diversity, and which is exactly what it is. You can't have those kind of people running a Ben and Jerry's. You certainly can't have those kind of people running the fucking most powerful government the world's ever known. It's nuts. It's nonsense. Well, I would vote for...
So that's part of it, but oh God, there we go. To the next section. But so that's part of why it is, because like Joe Biden ain't there. But I'm not exactly thrilled about Donald Trump winning either. It's like, so here's the biggest criticisms you've ever heard. So if my parents are watching, please like cross your arms, grab the crucifix, because I'm going to let you have it on Donald Trump. Donald Trump has the best political instincts out of any living person I've ever seen in the world. With that said, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So an example would be, we got to do something with China. I'm going to go ahead and do these tariffs. It was not like a great calculated decision. His intuition was right. He fixed something that worked, and it actually worked pretty well. It didn't totally fix the problem, but damn, was it a shot across the bow. But then there was also the crap with like, I'm going to nuke Moscow and Beijing. Can somebody say that today? Like 2016? Yeah, sure. 2017? Yeah, sure. 2023 in the middle of a freaking war, like Ukraine-Russia war, where we have like the current administration trying to start a nuclear war? No, we can't have that kind of stuff. So my concerns about Donald Trump are the fact that the guy shoots off his mouth so much. Now, do I think he would end the war in Ukraine? Like that. I think he didn't like that. Would he stop a war with China and like the whole shit with Taiwan? Yeah, he'd do it like that. But do I expect him to pick a much better cabinet? No, because it's going to be the used car salesman that I just told you about in the last section, okay? Like, it's going to be the used car salesman. They're going to be back, and they're going to do a bunch of crap. Do I think he'll go after the lettered agencies? Somewhat. I bet he gets even with some people. I hope he fires everybody in Washington, D.C. I hope everybody there gets fired, and then Emily and Ray get phone calls like, hey, would you like to come work at the Department of Energy? We need people. And then I think you do a better fucking job, even though you know nothing about D.C. or energy. I'm just going to say you probably do better than the people there from Harvard, because I'm not impressed. I have a higher IQ than the average Harvard graduate. I've met Harvard graduates, and I'm like, you're kind of smart. But I've also, like, girl who went to Oxford. She's a psychologist. She worked for McKinsey. We were at a seminar together, and there was this guy who flipped out, and I was like, I'm not surprised that guy flipped out. He had the crazy eyes. And she's like, what do you mean the crazy eyes? And I was like, when you look at somebody and you can know that they're crazy, there is no scientific literature to tell you that's backed up by anything. And I was like, but have you walked down the fucking street? And that's what I think about all the Ivy League kids. They've never walked down a street before, and so they don't know shit about shit. But I'm gonna go, and Bree, if you wind up, if you're accurate about Trump winning, I'll buy you some pho. I'll go down to the peninsula. It's a freaking. I'll go down to the peninsula. I'll pick you up. We'll go get us some Vietnamese food, and then I'll drop you off and say, Linda, take her back. I can't do it anymore. But maybe you'll be. I don't know. Maybe we'll be in Seattle at that time, and we'll go there and like step over the dog shit. Oh no! Whoops, my bad. That was a human. So now I'm going to go back to the next one. Ray M 2024. Yeah, I'd vote for you. Ladies, if you run, I'll vote for you. Guaranteed I would vote for the two of you. Okay, but we're going to go to the next section. So, this is from my... I used to actually date Annie back in the day. But so, 555 anti-trans bills have been proposed this year. None of us are okay. Well, that's a lot of bills. What does that mean? So 2023 anti-trans bill tracker. And this is just like, man, Democrats, the left just makes a better website. In 2023, anti-trans bills continue to be introduced across the country. We track legislation that seeks to block trans people from receiving basic health care, education, legal recognition, and the right to publicly exist. I hate this shit so, like, I hate the right to exist stuff. Yeah, actually, you get a heart, too. You get a heart from me. And I'm actually going to go ahead and thumbs up that Trump winning. But I hate how it's like, the right to, like, I hate that language. Like, here's actually, I got to backtrack a little bit. I fucking hate the language that the left uses. It's so stupid. The end. And Dad, if you're watching, I'm sorry I'm swearing so much. But I have a headache and Bree's here, and I'm annoyed at Bree. Because she normally does. We're tracking 27 national anti-trans bills in the United States, 2023, sweeping... Wait a second, I thought there were 500. Whatever. So what do these bills say? So I want to do just a couple of these. Like, this is a good resource if you want to dig through it, but this is in Oklahoma, SB 129. Felony charges for providing gender-affirming care to people under 26 years. A physician or other healthcare professional found to have knowingly referred for or provided gender transition procedures to an individual under 26. Really? Really, guys? Years of age shall, upon conviction, be guilty of a felony. Any referral for or provision of gender transition procedures to an individual under 26 years of age is unprofessional conduct and shall result in immediate revocation of the license or certification of the physician or other healthcare professionals. Well, it looks like a whole bunch of doctors are going to be leaving Oklahoma. That's what I take out of that. And then 26 years, like, oh, you can be drafted at 18. Okay. Oh, you can go buy a gun at 18. Oh, my God, you can drive a car at 16. I'm like, fucking, man, people shouldn't be driving. But 26? Like, that's the agency? And I understand that the brain's fully developed. Like, I think I know where this came from, which is the brain's developed when it's 25 or 26. And so these people can't make decisions on whether or not they're blah, 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 blah. But, like, what this does is, like, if a kid was already taking puberty blockers, it's like, boom, instant cutoff. Boom, instant cutoff. I'm going to link an article, but I'm not going to read it here because it's too damn long. Governor Corchis, new progressive think tank conservatives. Let's go back to here. Adam Townsend. Damn, Adam, come on. Can we do latest? Trans, Google, judicial, legal, SCOTUS. I don't think it's SCOTUS. Maybe it's under Florida. Adam, you're funny. Florida. Yeah, see, that worked pretty well. So this is the Florida judge in gender-affirming care. And actually, let's go back a little bit. Okay, this is pretty interesting. There's the Florida Don't Say Gay bill. You be the judge. And so I read the bill. And you know what? The bill was about, not talking to kids not talking to 8-year-olds about the gender shit. Okay? To not talk about, is 26 because of Obamacare? Okay, I'll take, oh, that does make sense, Bree. Thanks. Bree works in medical building. It's billing. That's why we have an expert. But maybe that's it. I'll take your... That does make sense, though. So is it basically... Bree, is it so that the government doesn't have to pay for it, or the taxpayer doesn't have to pay for it, however you want to look at that? Because, man, that is some Republican shit. Anyway, so the Florida Don't Say Gay bill. And so they call it the Don't Say Gay bill. But it's that it's like you need to have, if you're going to talk to children about trans stuff, you need parental permission. That's all that was. And then Ron DeSantis took it, and I think it's now 18 and under. Okay, cool. Thanks, Bree. I appreciate it. I'm going to just go ahead and say Bree is accurate on this one. Which I thought was horseshit, and so I saw the Don't Say Gay bill, and I saw Don't Say Gay, and it's like, oh, the latest thing the liberals are screaming about. The progs is really screaming about. I discovered I'm a liberal, by the way. Here it is, Bree. I am a conservative, revolutionary, liberal idealist. Which is basically, I think society's going to fall apart and our liberal values are going to help carry us through that. And that'll be like, reason, individualism, bootstrapping, being a tough, strong person. But then also having a collectivist thing where it's like part of the community, but it's whatever. And so then I believe, and this is according to the missus, that they raised it to 18, which is part of the extreme, the general extreming of this stuff, which I will get to in just a second here. But so Adam Townsend took this. It's the Florida judge in gender affirming care, which I will go ahead and copy and put this into here. And I encourage reading it. This judge knows what the hell they are talking about. So I'll just go ahead and go to the little thing real quickly. In May 2023, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law that restricts gender-affirming care for children. The law that DeSantis signed prohibits the use of GRN and agonists, known as puberty blockers, that stop or delay normal puberty in order to affirm a person's perception of his or her sex if that perception is inconsistent with the person's natal sex. The legislation also prohibits cross-sex hormones to affirm a person's perception of his or her sex that if perception is inconsistent with the person's natal sex. 7 parents of transgender children filed a lawsuit seeking to block the new law. 4 of the children involved do not need immediate care according to their doctors, but one child's doctor said puberty blockers are needed now without delay, and doctors for the other 2 children said they'll need this treatment soon. On June 6, 2023, Judge Robert Hinkle ordered a preliminary injunction allowing the 3 children to continue receiving gender-affirming treatment, saying they would suffer irreparable harm if not allowed to continue access to the hormones and puberty blockers. This post is Judge Hinkle's decision. I also converted it into an audiobook form using Amazon's Poly Neural Voice text reader. I don't want to be the distortion between the judge's decision and your mind. So here it is without any opinion from me and without further ado. I love this, by the way. I love the fact that what Adam Townsend does is he gives you the information and then you get to decide. It's not run through a filter. It's not run through a panel on CNN. It's not run through a panel on Fox News. It's just, here you go, without all the propaganda. This Judge Hinkle knows what the hell he is talking about. Damn, this is the best, and I'm going to go ahead and seed it a little bit for you. This is the best argument in favor of gender-affirming care you will ever fucking read. Ever. It's so good. Which we'll get to in a second. So what did Bree say? I got pregnant at 18 and Regents refused to cover my pregnancy. I got pregnant under Bush. Ha. That is pretty funny. And dude, the health insurance, and man, Al-Qaeda hit the wrong buildings. They should have gone after the insurers. Because then the insurance companies were able to pay for new buildings. I mean, it's what the fuck thing. Anyways, but man, there are some things that I do not like about our system. I think need to be changed. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, blah 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 blah. Gender affirming care. I'm gonna go back to Shotes because that's what we do. Trans backlash. Amy's posts. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my face real quickly. So, Bree, do you remember when I said there was going to be a backlash against all the gay pride stuff and that the conservatives blah, blah, blah? You might remember an earlier conversation, which was after the 2020, after the 2020 election. And it was that I thought the election was stolen. Might be. And there was some shenanigans that clearly happened. And that there was a way that Republicans could fight back against this stuff that was coming from, like, this just slew of crap from the Biden administration, which I knew was coming. Which is basically use the state legislatures as a weapon against the federal government. Because you can use, the state legislatures are being used as a weapon against BlackRock, as an example. They're being used as a weapon against Disney, as an example. Like, the state legislatures are how you fight the corporate takeover, which I think is really the biggest problem we have. I think the corporate takeover is the biggest problem we have. And so Republicans found a way to use the system as a weapon against them, but they're also using it as a weapon in the culture war, which is where you end up getting 557 bills in regards to the trans community in 2023. Okay, so like these states are freaking, like these legislatures are now radicalized and they're fighting back. And so basically what we have is a situation of, I was talking to the missus about this, Bree, and you'd be the person to ask, Ray, Emily, I'd love if you would pipe in. But I think we're now in a phase of reactionary politics. Like, all that's happening is one side's reacting to the other side and the other side's reacting to the other side. And it's kind of like, it's a feedback loop. And so the Democrats behaved like absolute animals for the last 7 or 8 years. Okay. Like the way they behaved during the Trump presidency was disgusting. The way they acted in 2020 is just beyond the pale. And so the Republicans are like, well, if it's gloves off, it's gloves off. Boom, boom. And so they're doing this stuff. And it's like, well, what's the agenda? Well, let me show you what the Republicans are saying. Because I'm taking screenshots of this stuff, and Bree, you'll appreciate this. I'm creating a library for my daughters, which I can show them what the world used to look like and when it went off the rails, and like things that were said as it was going off the rails. Let's go ahead and get that a little bit closer. Is that one it? That's not it. It's part of it, but that's not it. We all do yoga. We are smart AF. We calm the shit down. Women rock. I don't know about that, Bree. I mean, there's good things about. There's toxic masculinity and there's toxic femininity. I wrote about it today. Like I would try to find this. I think it was when we were on vacation. Man, do I take a lot of pictures. Yeah, it was a real busy weekend, man, wasn't it? Okay, so that's not working. We're going to do it different, okay? Okay, Bree? You can follow me here. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back to Twitter. I'm going to type in Cernovich. I'm going to go back to here. At Cernovich. And they spell Bolshevik right. If I spelled this right, man, that's great. Now, let me see if I can find one of his posts on it. Okay, the Bolshevik prosecuting a 65-year-old man who killed a mugger who attacked him during a rampage wasn't charged by a Soros DA. The DA is a garden variety moderate Democrat. That's how bad it is. They are all Bolsheviks, no moderates. They want to genocide you. Bolshevik communism's here. I'm trying to find... I did take a screenshot of it, but I gotta organize my screenshots. Maybe by, like, the person who said it, or... I don't know. Just do a bunch of tags. Okay, we're gonna go back up here. I don't know what I'm looking for, Bree. Can you just take my word for it? The Republicans have maybe brainwashed themselves. Reactionary politics. So the Republicans sat back and they watched 2020 happen where everybody went crazy. And now they're like, okay, so this is clear. Because they use the communist fist everywhere. There is clearly a... Okay, Emily's leaving. You got to do... You have to see Elemental. I'll take your word for it. Have a great day. I hope you enjoy it. It sounds like a movie. I hope you enjoy the movie. Have a wonderful time. It was good having you. We love you so much at the Corona Cafe. Back to the communist fist. And so basically it was like, communist fist. We're Antifa. We're going to riot. We're going to take over. We're going to take over Bree's home and turn it into a shithole. And then they turned the Chaz into the Chode, and then like they just freaking destroyed a really nice gay part of Seattle. A whole bunch of women got raped. Black kids got murdered. Because you know how much the Democrats love women and blacks. Christopher Hitchens needs to come back. I might be his reincarnation. Give me some time, Bree. I've published 80 articles. Can you believe that? I've done 80 articles so far. And I'm working on some stuff. If it gets out, Bree, man, you better hire me some You don't need to hire me bodyguards. I think I can talk. I can talk to the radicals who want to shoot me, because I'll just be like, guys, look, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's just a joke. Stop being so gay about everything, Jesus. Anyways, and so what we have is like, people behaved like total animals in 2020, and then the Republicans are like, oh, we need to go buy a bunch of guns. So the most guns sold ever was like 2020. And thank you. I'm glad you left my articles. Please share them with people, because 30 people read my stuff. I'm so sad. I look at the crap that like these grifters are making, and like they're just making so much money, and it's so bad. And then I'm like, whatever. At some point I'll get discovered, and I'll just have this whole backlog of stuff, and then the like FBI is going to knock at my door, and I'll just be like, hey, I'll work with you guys. I hate the Chinese too. And they'll be like, he sounds like an American. And I'll be like, I am. I'm fucking speaking English to you. What do you think I am? Like, anyways, so 2020 happened. They act like animals, and so they're reacting to what happened. So it's like, oh my God, they're having a Bolshevik revolution and blah, blah, blah. And so Bree and I, we live out in Western Washington. Bree, how many MAGA hats are you seeing? How many people walking around with guns on their hip are you seeing? I'm seeing videos all over Facebook of people, like just random citizens, stopping theft from happening at big box stores and chain stores. You, me, and Tony, that works. That works. I'll go with it, whatever. I don't even know what that word is. I'm smarter than Harvard. Anyways, Lowe's. Okay, and so there's just random citizens saying, like, you can't steal that. Hey, who are you? Blah, and coming out with their cameras and just walking around and be like, yo, this shit's over. And so I'm seeing that in the liberal progressive state, like my liberal progressive home, where people are just, they're so pissed off at it. I had a talk with a mom, and we're talking like fist in the air, Black Lives Matter, couldn't get enough of that BD. But all of a sudden she's just like, why are they talking to my child about being Napoleon? What's the stupid shit? It's like one of the trans things, but they're like the trans people who want to bang everybody. Do you know what I'm talking about? Pollyanna. It's like that, but it's not that. Here, I can find it real quick. Because maybe I should do that for you and just be honest about what we're talking about. Pansexual. I'm not even 100% sure what pansexual is. Pansexual meaning: relating to, having, or open to sexual activity of many kinds, sexually attracted and open to all people regardless of gender, gender identity, or sexual orientation. They might even fuck a horse. Anyways, she's like, why are they talking to my 8-year-old about this? And that's where they lost everybody, Brie. They went after the kids, and they're just crazy. The parents are just going freaking nuts. And I'm not going to say that, like, oh my God, this is it, and we're going to blah, 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 this is going to get taking America back. I think it's just going to fracture. I think it's just going to fracture into a million fucking pieces. Which might bring me to the Unabomber. Should we move on? So I made an article, and I hope you all started it. It's a really, really long one. But I'm going to use Twitter as an example, and we're going to do Unabomber. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Because some people made some tweets that made me think, I think I should save this one. Let me see. There's that. Oh, I need to watch that. Oh, look at her. She's pretty. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot so much. I'll get to it in a second. You read it? Thank you, Bree. But you also read it in like the 90s. Did you also like that I turned it into an audiobook? I thought that was pretty good. But man, also, quick question. Did reading it again give you like this certain insight of like, oh no! Oh no! Oh no, he had a point, and now all the Republicans are going to... Republicans are going to read it. Top quality, let me see here. Scrolling. It's not there. I do have some really good stuff, though. Actually, I'm going to go to this one real quickly, to the Telegraph. I know it's the Telegraph, but please, but here's power, richest guy in the world on his own social media network. The cult of gender ideology is finally disintegrating. So it's disintegrating at the same time that it's under attack. So culturally, it's falling apart. Narratively, it's falling apart, and now you have legislation that's going after it. It's going to be a freaking disaster. I feel for the trans people, because they were just used as a wedge. They were just used as a freaking wedge in this. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to search. Man, do I have some good stuff here. But and this is about reindustrialization of the United States. We're going to be the semiconductor people now, which is awesome. But that was going to happen anyways, I think. So we got manifesto. So Unabomber manifesto. Man's World Online. Read Ted Kaczynski's classic diagnosis of modern leftist condition in full from legendary Unabomber manifesto. That has 50,000 impressions, a bunch of likes. That means over 1,000 people read this. The Industrial Society and its future. It's 500,000 views. Manifesto. If you ever had time, you should really read the Unabomber's Manifesto. That's by Barrington. He's pretty big. There's another It's gone viral, Bree, is what I'm saying. Actually, we'll go ahead. We'll go to Jacob's article. How about that? So what you want to do is you go over to jacobrobertsonsubstack.com. Family, that's today's article. How to defeat the patriarchy. Don't you love me? Don't you love me? It's a fun, I hope you read this. I thought this was funny. And I might need to bring back some of the artwork, but I don't know. I digress. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and read a few. I'm going to skip a grip to the psychology of modern leftism. Almost everyone will agree that we live in a deeply troubled society. One of the most widespread manifestation of the craziness of our world is leftism, so a discussion of the psychology of leftism can serve as an introduction to the discussion of the problems of modern society in general. But what is leftism? During the first half of the 20th century, leftism could have been practically identified with socialism. Today, the movement is fragmented and is not clear who can properly be called a leftist. When we speak of leftists in this article, we will have in mind mainly socialists, collectivists, politically correct types, feminists, gay and disability activists, animal rights activists, and the like. But not everyone who is associated with one of these movements is a leftist. What we are trying to get at in discussing leftism is not so much movement or an ideology as a psychological type, or rather a collection of related types. Thus, what we mean by leftism will emerge more clearly in the course of our discussion of leftist psychology. Also see paragraphs 227 through 230. There's a lot of paragraphs in this, Ray. Even so, our concept of leftism will remain a good deal less clear than we would wish, but there doesn't seem to be any remedy for this. All we are trying to do here is indicate a rough and approximate way the two psychological tendencies that we believe are the main driving force of modern leftism. We by no means claim to be telling the whole blah 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 blah. I'm going to go ahead and skip a grip here. The two psychological tendencies that underlie modern leftism we call feelings of inferiority and over-socialization. Feelings of inferiority are characteristic of modern leftism as a whole, while over-socialization is a characteristic only of a certain segment of modern leftism, but this segment is highly influential. By feelings of inferiority, we mean not only inferiority feelings in the strict sense, but a whole spectrum of related traits. Low self-esteem, feeling of powerlessness, depressive tendencies, defeatism, guilt, self-hatred, etc. We argue that modern leftists tend to have some feelings possibly more or less repressed, and that these feelings are decisive in determining the direction of modern leftism. I can't actually read all this. Actually, I'm going to read this paragraph and then I'll be done with it, okay? When somebody interprets as derogatory almost anything that is said about him or groups, or about groups with whom he identifies, we conclude that he has inferiority feelings or low self-esteem. This tendency is pronounced, or that they could be outraged and offended. This tendency is pronounced among minority rights activists, whether or not they belong to the minority groups whose rights they defend. They are hypersensitive about the words used to designate minorities and about anything that is said concerning minorities. The term Negro, Oriental, handicapped, or chick for an African, an Asian, a disabled person, or woman originally had no derogatory connotation. Broad and chick were merely the feminine equivalents of guy, dude, or fellow. The negative connotations have been attached to these terms by the activists themselves. Some animal rights activists have gone so far as to reject the word pet and insist on its replacement by animal companion. This could have been written today. Leftists, and this was written 30 years ago, leftist anthropologists go to great lengths to avoid saying anything about primitive peoples that can conceivably be interpreted as negative. They want to replace the word primitive with non-literate. They seem almost paranoid about anything that might suggest that any primitive culture is inferior to our own. We do not mean to imply that primitive cultures are inferior to ours. We merely point out the hypersensitivity of leftist anthropologists. And so the hypersensitivity and the emotionalness and the low self-esteem equals screeching. So it's why they screech so much and go, "Wah!" and like clap their hands, okay? And so they lose their shit and they're offended about everything. And it's happening to the conservatives too, Bree. What I think I see happening is the internet is creating these echo chambers where the collectivist left is very clear. Like the collectivist left is really easy to see. Like it's easy to understand. It's not hard. It's everywhere. It's the swarm. It's basically like, what is the acceptable narrative? You're going to see it on every single major news channel. Maybe Fox, I don't know. But every single major Fox news, like every single major news station, it's going to come out in the Wall Street, like not the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Atlantic, the Chicago Tribune. And then you're going to see it on Facebook, and you're going to see it on Instagram and TikTok and the accepted narrative. Okay, that's going to be like the, I call it the swarm, that the leftist collective swarm, hive mind that's really, really, really sensitive and easily offended. Like, I'm not sure if you've met a lot of people who are a part of it. They're all weak. And I hate to say it that way, but they're all weak. Like, every single member of that tribe is weak. And I see it over and over again. And like, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Because, Bree, I know liberals that ain't pussies, okay? You know what I mean? Like, I actually know tough people on the left. But this is different. Because the tough people on the left are able to call out their own sides. Van Jones is an excellent example of somebody who can call out their own side. He's an individual. He's an individual liberal, okay? He's not some, like, leftist, hive, stupid shit, insecure, dumb fudge. He's a smart guy. He's a really smart guy. Who is in alignment with that group, but he's not part of that group. And then you have the same thing happening on the right. Like, the right has turned into a crazy, diluted echo chamber with feelings of inferiority, and like, they're glomming together too. So I would argue that he's got like some point about the leftists, but I think the technology is making everybody weak and stupid. Is my point. And I'll write more about this. I'm really going to take my time dissecting like what Ted Kaczynski said, because I don't want to get this one wrong. Because I've written some stuff that's pretty inflammatory around it. I'm like, I don't need to put that out there. I don't need to put that out there. I don't need to put that out there. I don't need to scare the crap out of people. But I am going to tell you where it leads, which might scare you a little bit. And I already did talk to Bree about this, because I figured Bree would be the person to talk to about Ted Kaczynski. You should be doing this show, not me. I'm 95. There's 6 people doing the cleanup. Yeah, I believe that. Let me see. That I-95 truck self-destructing has already been black-holed. I wonder why. So, man, you gotta follow Adam, dude. He's so on point with all this shit. But let's take a look at this real quickly, guys. So I-95, and let's go ahead and we're just going to pull up a map. We're going to pull up a map. Boop, 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 boop. I-95 Philadelphia map. Okay, so this is more of what I'm looking for here. Actually, that's not quite it. Bree, help me out here. I'm going to do this one. Go to view file. Should be big enough. So this is a major interstate, okay? 95 is a major interstate. Runs through Jersey. There you got Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You got Maryland. You got all that other crap. But it's a major thoroughfare. Somebody parked a truck under one of these bridges, and it magically caught fire, blew up, and just leveled the bridge. Do you have any idea how much commerce goes through this area? So I have 4 guesses on who did this. Number 1, it's the Russians. Or the Chinese. We'll just say or the Iranians. Some adversary that's looking to just cause a bunch of problems. A homegrown terrorist. The Ted Kaczynski types, and that's actually the one that I should talk about last. It legitimately was an accident, but I haven't heard anything that says, oh, this was just an accident. I heard, oh, this thing blew up. Let's talk about something else. And I don't remember what the fourth one was, and it doesn't matter because there's a couple of groups that I want to talk about in regards to this. So let's just go ahead and take a look at... I'm going to do one I understand better. Let's do New Mexico road map. And man, I hope they don't get mad at me for Googling this, okay? Because whatever. But here in New Mexico, you have something called the Big I. All right, and the Big I is I-25 and it's I-40. I-40 runs from one end of the United States to the other. I-25 runs from one end of the United States to the other. So we're talking Mexico to Canada, sea to sea, okay? It's freaking huge. I-25 is huge. I think you can take I-25 from LA all the way to Atlanta, I think. Because I've never done that, the Route 66 route or whatever. Anyways, get your kicks on Route 66. It needs to be said. Anyways, but that's a lot of crap. So I lived in Albuquerque for a long time. You know what I always saw going through here? Trailers, just trailers, and a bunch of trailers and trailer trucks and trailer trucks and trailer trucks and trailer trucks everywhere because they're taking stuff all the way to Chicago. So this runs from we're talking Mexico to Chicago. Incidentally, this is where Chicago gets all of its drugs, which may or may not matter. The Big I looks like this. The Big I, Albuquerque, which you have to spell out every single time, even though I'm from there and I've written it a trillion times. So this is the Big I. Okay, there is, and if I actually get my bearings real quickly, so this is I-25 and this is I-40. So let's just say you drop I-40 onto I-25. Let's just say somebody parked that truck under there. Okay, Bree? What that means is you're going to have to find an alternative routes for all that crap coming from Chicago all the way from Mexico to Chicago. That means that crap that's going from Los Angeles to Atlanta, you're going to need to find another way to get around it. Not to mention, the whole area of this city is going to shut the F down. And actually, the Big I moves pretty well. Traffic flows through here. This is, it looks kind of interesting. This is designed well. The guys who did it designed well, the engineering firm that did well. It's a well-designed system. It works. But that means they're going to have to take all the side streets, and Albuquerque's sides, it's a mess getting around there. So you're going to shut down the local economy, but you're also going to shut down interstate commerce as a result of it. What I am trying to point here is I think this was not about a truck being under there, but a disruption of interstate commerce. I think this was an attack on the industrial system. This was an attack on the United States of America trying to mess stuff up. And I think we're going to have a lot more of it because we also have OSNT, what is it? Office of National Security. We'll do Grinnell Cyber China. And maybe that says something. And we got to do latest, apparently. Never. Okay, we'll do Rick Grinnell. You're really messing up. You're messing up my flow, Rick Grinnell. In Twitter, and not really preparing my notes. Where in the hell is he? Shouldn't his Twitter handle be the first thing that popped up? The guy used to be, he was in the freaking, what? There he is. Oh, you're my Richard now? Huh. Okay, let me see. There's him 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. We need to go back a little further ago. He's somewhat of a tweet whore, I guess. There's that guy. Where's Sean David? Man, if you're not watching Tucker's monologues, you should. Is a preview of things to happen. Here we go. I've been told by Intel insiders that Avril Haines and ODNI is getting ready to manipulate old class. That's not what I was looking for. Oh yeah, that's basically COVID came from the lab and we always knew it. Duh. Ba-ba-da-bum, ba-ba-da-bum, there's Biden, there's whatever, 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 there's whatever. Long story short, that there's a lot of, I'm going to skip this shit. Long story short, there's a lot of rhetoric out there that it's going to pop off between the United States and China over Taiwan. And if that happens, you're going to just expect a bunch of cyber attacks. So it doesn't need to just be cyber attacks that we have issues with, because that would shut things down. You can also blow up a bridge in Philadelphia for the cost of a truck that you need to steal. But then you also have people like, well, it's Tedo. Okay, so I think what's about to happen is there's going to be a system update for your school shooter types, and they're going to start attacking infrastructure. Let me put it this way. I 100% expect right-wing extremists to attack infrastructure in this country. Which is why in 2020 I said I'm dedicating my life to de-radicalizing the right, okay? Because that's what they're going to go for. Like, that's where you do the most pain. It's not about shooting kids in school. It's about really jamming things up. It's blowing up a port. That kind of crap. And it's gonna get interesting. I don't actually have a high point for that, so I'm gonna go ahead and check in on Scott Adams' Twitters and Adam Townsend. I'm gonna do Adam Townsend first because he's smarter. And I like him more. But so if you have any sort of questions, comments, please let me know. Let me see. He's talking about Robert F. Kennedy. Okay, he says, okay, so this is Adam. Adam is also a political insider like you and I don't even know. This is how you win elections, not saying, he's my dude, but tactically, we all know this is compelling and how to win. In the first second, you're emotionally engaged. So let's see what Robert F. Kennedy has to say.
Hello, everybody. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr. 60 years ago this month, my uncle, President John F. Kennedy, gave one of the most important speeches in his life and in American history. It was known as the Peace Speech at American University, and that speech led directly to the signing of the first major treaty of the nuclear age. In that speech, he outlined his vision, not just for peace in our time, but for peace in all times. On June 20th, in commemoration of that speech, I will deliver my first major policy speech of my presidential campaign. I will describe my vision for peace, for diplomacy, and how I will end our country's addiction to forever wars. I hope you'll join me at St. Anselm's College in Manchester, New Hampshire on June 20th at 7 p.m. For tickets and live stream information, go to Kennedy24.com. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm running for President of the United States, and I approve this message.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has voice issues. So if you didn't notice that, and he could 100% win, like he could be president. Let me see, we're talking about that. We're talking about some dogs. Oh man, dog, don't mess with a deer. What are you doing? Forget about the candidate. Which shirt would you wear? If someone was wearing each shirt, and would you think of them from first sight? What would you do? What would you know about them? That they're an idiot that spent money on shirts. Guy's been running a campaign for 2 years, over $100 million in a bank. He's well funded, closely aligned with PACs. He has Dave Rubin, David Sachs, and all their brains and resources. Dubbed a website, Circle AOL dial-up era. This is not a, yeah. Now we're pretty much up to date on all this stuff. What did Kumar say? That's a good idea. Maybe we should bet on DeSantis. I'm not a gambling expert. We're going to go to Adam Townsend. We're going to go to Scott Adams because he talks more about the news. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll wrap it up. What do you guys want to talk about? Anything? Let me know. Scott Adams. Scott. There's me. Really, let me know. Anything you guys want to talk about, please, Ray. Or anybody who's still there. Okay, so we got Scott Adams. Gonna put on my glasses. And Scott Adams is good because he talks about like the big subjects. It's not that I agree with him by any means. I certainly don't. Use chat. There's an ad. Don't they sell $1 million? Oh, that's... Okay, Ben & Jerry's is woke. Let's see if I got this right. A president can make any document unclassified, but not make any document personal. Therefore, taking the documents to Mar-a-Lago might de facto unclassify them, but it would not transfer ownership or make them personal. The government would still own them. Is that the argument? Again, I said I don't care about this. I just don't care. There's some Joe Rogan. Here's a good one. The public hasn't seen Trump's Mar-a-Lago documents, but we've seen this show before, quote unquote. All summer long, the propagandists will gaslight you into thinking those documents include important state secrets. Much later, when it no longer matters to politics, we will learn it was a big nothing. We've seen this movie, which is why I don't care. I just don't care. Let me see. Nova Scotia police thwart 3 arson attacks as media blames climate change for wildfires. There's so many arsonists across Canada right now. It has to be coordinated, and they're probably getting paid to do it. Whose political agenda stands to benefit? My guess on this, and Bree, are you here, Bree? If I had to just guess, number 1 would be Russia or China. Number 2, it would be environmental, freaking wackos. And actually, I do want to. I'm gonna end on that. Okay, I don't need to look through all this stuff. I think we are headed towards a catastrophe of man-made proportions. It could be maybe it's AI, but it could also be a virus that an environmental cult starts. So I expect the environmentalists to just go nuts. So you have groups like Extinction Rebellion, which is a good example. But any of them, and they've turned into death cults. I would say that the part of the Blue Church, the religion that we were talking about, Bree, Ray, Emily, everybody earlier, it's a death cult. Ray, we talked about this in 2020 about how these kids don't care about dying. They don't give a shit. Because they've just been fed with, climate change is going to kill you. The oceans are going to, you're terrible, and you're terrible, and you're terrible, and humans are terrible, and we're a pox on the planet. Well, some of those people took it to heart. Some people who are narcissistic psychopaths took it to heart. And now what we've done is we've unleashed AI in the public. And what does that mean? We're going to have genetic gene sequencers in the future in our basements. And so what's going to happen is a death cult's going to create a virus. And that virus is going to get out, and it's going to cause problems on top of all the other problems we have right now. And then hopefully at that point we rein in technology. That's it. That's all I got. There's you wanted to talk about the Constitution, didn't you, Bree? Oh God, this is terrible. I'm getting off Twitter right now. It's burning my eyeballs. Yeah, I'm totally closing that. I don't need to look at that stuff. You guys don't need to look at that stuff. Drug crap. And I'm wiping my nose because I have allergies right now. I'm going to go, everybody. Nobody's saying anything. I think you're all gone. I love you. Angels on your pillows. The virus crap. I should talk about the virus crap. So you should have some food stored. I don't think you're going to need a ton, but we've talked about this before. Is always have some extras there. There's just some extra. Whether it's bridge gets blown up, or whether it's a virus gets out, or whether it's, Donald Trump gonna run for president, so we need to cause riots. Just have a little something so you can lay low, write it out a bit. Probably want some N95 masks that fit your face. And if there's another big nasty virus, I would hunker down. I would definitely hunker down. Because it could actually be a big nasty virus this time. Because by my estimates, the death cult that runs everything wants to kill 1 billion people to save the planet. And I'm not even joking. I bet that's true. I would bet money on that. I would bet money on it that there's some Harvard graduates or Oxford graduates who are we need to just murder 1 billion people because we're good. And hopefully they're all Republicans. Unfortunately, be the people in big cities. Unfortunately, really what's going to probably happen is a famine. And then they're just going to level the third world and be like, well, their sacrifice is our gain. Let's buy the new iPhone. And nobody's saying anything, so I'm going to go. I love you all. I hope you have great days. I hope the show was worth your time. I hope you got some information and laughs. Let me know what you think. Message me, talk to me, let me know if you want me to make more shows. I'll make more shows. And then I'm going to have a baby. Ugh. We'll see how all that goes. I'm not sure I'll do a show in that week or two. Actually, the 2 weeks after baby's born, I'm going to have mother-in-law's in town, and I'll probably be doing like the whole family thing. Because I didn't get to do that with the first one because of COVID, so I bet we're going to have like a lot of people over to get us all the new virus or whatever. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Angels on your pillow. Godspeed, people. Get strapped or get clapped. I don't know.